Today we're going to talk about the autoimmune systems, our immune system primarily, and our primary immune system organ is our gut. That includes the tonsils and adenoids in the back of the throat, the esophagus, the stomach, intestines, and all the way down to the anal area. Probably 99% of everything that enters our body comes in through the food and water that we eat or drink, and the air, the pollens and stuff is in the air, the viruses and the germs and things that get trapped in our nasal mucus, and then they're swallowed down into the gut, so everything ends up in the gut, and the gut is responsible for identifying and protecting us from whatever invasion has occurred. When we have an injury like a cut, the immune system also tells the body how to fix that. If it's a broken bone or some sort of tragedy or whatever, the body tries to do what it can to fix all this. The primary immune system is our gut, so it's the one that's directing all this stuff out there. The gut can be damaged, unfortunately, by what we eat. If we eat a lot of cereals and breads and pastas, if we have lots of sugar and not enough protein and not enough fat, then our immune system is not going to be able to operate properly. So the things that aggravate the immune system the most, one of the primary things is recurrent episodes of antibiotics. These antibiotics kill our good bacteria that are in our system. And the good bacteria that are in our system we're born with. There are approximately 500 species of good, friendly, soil-based organisms which we live in a symbiotic relationship, and these bacteria help us to protect the body. The different types of bacteria in our gut can be killed with primarily with antibiotics. They can also be overgrown by a carbohydrate that consists of a lot of carbohydrates and sugars. So trying to fix the immune system, we have to do that by fixing primarily what our diet is. The main things, as I said, that are aggravating our gut and irritating it are the foods, the high carbohydrate foods that we eat. So to correct and improve the immune system and the gut, we have to go on a low carb, gluten-free diet and take probiotics. Since the good bacteria in our system have been killed, we need to take probiotics. The primary good sources of probiotics are some yogurts, some of those things, but the primary source is homemade or naturally fermented vegetables, things like sauerkraut and Korean kimchi. These have many hundreds of different varieties of good bacteria which our immune system needs to have it to work correctly. When we don't have those things, we irritate the immune system with the carbohydrates, and gluten is a primary aggravator for the immune system, because in the grains that we have now, there's approximately 90% more gluten in the flour now than there used to be. We know that because if you're over 30 years of age and someone in your house made a homemade loaf of bread and you smelled it cooking and you wanted to have a sandwich made out of this wonderful smelling stuff, and when you sliced it, you ended up with a hole here, and the jelly would sometimes even fall through into your hand. Gluten glues the bread together, so no bakery wanted to send out bread that had holes in the middle and somebody could make a sandwich out of it or whatever. So they have genetically modified the grains, and I'm sure you've seen this stuff on television, so that now there's approximately 90% more gluten in the flour than there was in the past. As we said, the gluten glues the bread together. When we have that kind of condition, the gluten has become a very serious aggravator for our intestinal tract. And many people have found out that they can no longer tolerate that, even in small amounts. Because of this aggravation that has occurred to the immune system, or to the gut, new things that come in, the gut has trouble with identifying it, and the gut goes, "Ah!" And it throws off things, it starts making stuff, shooting wildly and whatever else, and not doing the correct things to absorb the things that the body needs to fight diseases. We must remember that all of the antibodies, all of the enzymes and things that kill invaders in the body, like viruses and bacteria, are made from protein. So we have to have the protein. Our body has to have energy to make those things out of the protein, and the primary sources of energy are fat. You may not know, but there's 9 calories of energy in 1 gram of fat, and there's only 4 calories of energy in a gram of carbohydrate or in protein. So we do need fats. We need good fats. And unfortunately, we've been lied to for the last 40 years about what is a good fat. We've been given fake fats like margarine and vegetable oils and things like that, when we should be eating eggs and bacon and butter. There's nothing wrong with red meat. There's nothing wrong with chicken with the skin on it. All of these things are putting in the body the things that the body needs to fight invaders to it, such as bacteria and fungus and those kinds of things. Autoimmune diseases then occur if the gut is so badly damaged it can't respond properly. I have a list here of 19 pages of immune diseases that you can look up on the internet. Some of the main ones are things like psoriasis and Graves' disease and endometriosis and Sjogren's syndrome and juvenile arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, sarcoidosis, fibromyalgia. All of these things are considered autoimmune diseases, which the body can't handle and correct anymore. How we fix that is we have to get the immune system healed so it now can use the energy from the protein and from the fat to destroy the bacteria and the viruses and other damages that's occurring to our body. As we said, the primary things that aggravate the gut have to do with the diet. And we know that bacteria love sugar. We learned from Otto Warburg, who in the 1940s discovered that cancer, bacteria, and fungus cannot survive in the human body without sugar. This is where it's important to be on a low-carb, gluten-free diet and take the probiotics that we mentioned to repair some of the damage that's happened. I have here a medical definition of autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease is an illness that occurs when the body tissues are attacked by its own immune system. The immune system is a complex organization within the body that is designed normally to seek and destroy invaders in the body, including infectious agents and other things. Patients with autoimmune diseases frequently have unusual antibodies circulating in their blood that seem to target their own body. So if we have what's called an autoimmune disease, we need to fix the primary immune system organ, which is the gut. We do that by a low carbohydrate diet, gluten-free, and taking good probiotics. There's probably only 14 different bacteria that can be in probiotics. The most I've seen is in a pill. There's 6 different species of bacteria, good bacteria, in yogurt. So those are the things that would give us some of the good bacteria, but the best source, again, is going to be homemade sauerkraut or Korean kimchi. Korean kimchi is just another form of fermented cabbage. It has peppers, hot peppers, and garlic and things like that in there, where their homemade sauerkraut is just naturally fermented shredded cabbage. So these are simple things that we can do to improve our immune system that can protect us better.